Nigga sweater vest?
Yo.
You see that nigga sweater vest? Oh shit! What the fuck?
Nah, that's pretty fresh, dog.
I'm a white ass nigga going hard in these streets, going non-stop like it's smoke alarm beats. All of you niggas gon' be shit out of love when these white ass niggas go hard as fuck. When these white ass niggas go hard as fuck. When these white ass niggas go hard as fuck. When these white ass niggas go hard as fuck. I speak perfect English without any accent. I can read and write unlike half of these black kids. Yeah, white Anglo-Saxon, Protestant represent. Woo. I can say the word nigga cause nigga we invented it. We got science, medicine, and technology. Every nigga wants to live in my colony. So don't you lecture me with that equality shit. We're going hard as fuck with no apologies, bitch. I'm a white ass nigga going hard in these streets, going non-stop like you smoke alarm beats. All of you niggas gon' be shit out of luck when these white ass niggas go hard as fuck. When these white ass niggas go hard as fuck. When these white ass niggas go hard as fuck. When these white ass niggas go hard as fuck. When it comes to work, you know I'm always on time. You never catch me late or see me cutting in line. All my neighbors love me cause I'm such a nice guy. And I never take advice from a bunch of rabbis. No, I can't spend a lot of time in the sun, but I always find time to spend with my son. And I still call my dad at least once a week just to let him know I'm going hard in these streets. I'm a white ass nigga going hard in these streets, going non-stop like it's smoke alarm beeps. All of you niggas gon' be shit out of luck when these white ass niggas go hard as fuck. When these white ass niggas go hard as fuck. When these white ass niggas go hard as fuck. When these white ass niggas go hard as fuck. 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 I don't let nobody tell me what to do. No, I ain't listening to any whiny Jews. No niggas gonna tell me not to love my own race, and we're gonna put women back in their fucking place. All my niggas really fucking love being white, and we're never gonna say sorry for being right. And when whites are allowed to unite, good luck, cause these white ass niggas go hard as fuck. I'm a white ass nigga going hard in these streets, going non-stop like it's smoke alarm beeps. All of you niggas gon' be shit out of luck when these white ass niggas go hard as fuck. When these white ass niggas go hard as fuck. When these white ass niggas go hard as fuck. When these white ass niggas go hard as fuck.
I'm in the world but not of it. I praise God every day and I love it. I say what I want and I say what they want. I stand for the truth and what's right and they don't. Life is simple, it's no puzzle. Common sense will tell you not to wear a muzzle. Fear no evil, trust no people. When in doubt, shout, I'm a believer. I fear no man, though the world is broken. God, shine your light on me. I fear no man, though the world is broken. God, shine your light on me.
I offend everybody, the left, right, in the middle. Blame my parents because I've been this way since I was little. It used to be normal, now everybody praying to crystals. No wonder why it's so easy for the devil to trick you. They treat you like dogs, pitting muzzles all on your faces, forcing kids to wear them in schools. Doesn't this seem outrageous? They ban Bible scriptures on TikTok.
Let's go to Target! Let's go to Target! Get some PlayStations! Let's go to Target!
Let's go. Good morning. Good morning. Welcome to the Dreadedconservative show. It's Monday night. Kicking a week off right. Un momento. All right. There's a lot of news this week. Holy moly, there's a lot of news. We got a lot of stuff. We got 3 million Epstien files to go through. We're going to get started here shortly. We're going to go through all of them. Just kidding. That would take us the rest of our lives. But it would be a life well spent. It would be a great life. Plundering through the depths of the Epstien files. Listen, I read them so you guys don't have to. All 3 million. I read them. I watched the 2,000 videos, including the snuff corn, the torture corn, and the video collection of Jeffrey Epstein. Parallax. You know what 07 means? I'm surprised you know what that means. I guess everybody knows what it means now. It's not a secret anymore. The secret's out. Okay. 3 million Epstien files, the weirdest stuff in them. Look at that. We got another government shutdown. I'm not going to spend much time on the government shutdown because that's just what Democrats do. They strike when they got to complain about something. They need something given to them that they want. They kick and they throw a tantrum and they say, I'm not going to work. That's just what they do. So we won't spend a lot of time on that, but then we'll go to the LA riots. We got more riots, more national destabilization through Democrats, through your boy, your Soros's, funding protests all over the place. You want a day off work? Protest. You want to get something you want? Strike. That's how you do it. It's the Democrat way. It's the lefty way. So we got all that. And then Don Lemon, go to jail. We got a little more on that. We talked about that all weekend. Ilhan Omar getting sprayed with some poisonous toxin. Not really. It's just apple juice. Apple cider. And then, if we have time, I don't even know if we have time. We'll look at this video that I think Candace released it, but everybody's been showing it and commentating on it, doing commentary on the Erica Kirk video. And we're gonna watch JP Awaken with JP. He fell off for a minute and now he's back. And I like his take on it. I like the video he made of it. So we'll watch that if we have time. But that's what we're going to do. That's what we're going to do right there. Hola, auntie. So, okay, we got Epstien files. We got 3 million documents. There's supposed to be 6 million. But I think we have the letter from Congress, from the DOJ, saying that they've met all their requirements on what they need to release. But then I heard something else say that this is just the first batch and there's going to keep going until we get to 6 million. I was saying 9 million before. I thought it was 9 million in total. I guess it was 6 million. You don't want to get those numbers wrong. We've got 3 million so far, so we got a lot to go through. some crazy stuff in here. Some wild stuff in here. Dude, I've got so many. All of this did was make more questions than answers. There's not a lot of answers. Shocker. 3 million pages of Epstein files come out. Doesn't get us anywhere closer to the truth about anything. In fact, it takes us farther away. I'd say does more harm than good. But hey, it's going to give conspiracy theorists, ammunition for the next 12 years. They can talk about this constantly. I'll be one of them. I'll be talking about it too. What do we got? We got Pizzagate confirmation. Not really, but kinda. We got Elon mentioned. We got Trump mentioned 5,000 times. Shocker. And about 4,000 of them are just random from a call-in hotline. Just random tips. Hey, did you know Trump was eating a child yesterday? Did you know George Bush rode out on a boat where they raped a little boy and then they chopped him into pieces and threw him into the water? We got Spirit Cafe human cakes again. We're back on the human cakes. What else? We got Epstein helped create 4chan. It is, and Ghislaine was a Reddit mod. Lots of fun stuff. Let's see what the mainstream media is saying about it. CBS News, massive trove of Epstein files released by the DOJ, including 3 million documents and photos. The Justice Department on Friday released additional documents. Latest batch uploaded from the DOJ repository where they can be accessed in data sets 9, 10, 11, and 12. CBS has a new team of journalists examining the files and will highlight notable findings below. Let's hear it, CBS. Tens of thousands of pages, February 2nd. This is from February 2nd. There's going to be, they're saying the first batch out of the 3 million, I think is what they're saying. All 3 million aren't out yet. What's up, Lord Spike? Included photos, video, court records. Now, see, I don't even know if I should be going through this on stream because you can't just click through these on a stream because you don't know what you're going to find, and I don't know how edited they are. Epstein Files Transparency Act required the DOJ to produce its files related to the late sex offender and his co-conspirator Ghislaine Maxwell by December 19th, but the DOJ said the volume of material and the need to redact survivors' identifying information meant the files would have to be released on a rolling basis. Yeah, there's a lot of them. Justice Department has insisted the delay in releasing the rest of the Epstein files as required by law has been due in part to the slow process of redacting information. I mean, it's so egregious, I'm speechless at how terrible the redactions actually are. Survivor Danny, you're concerned about the redactions? You're not concerned about the accusations in it that have no backing that people are going to jump on and start talking about? Dude, there's an email in here where he's talking with a guy about sending fake emails to people, so if he ever gets caught, it'll send them down the wrong trails. There's a Epstein conspiracy within the Epstein files. They're making conspiracies on how to make conspiracies about him in his own files. This is crazy. I think I was wrong, guys. I think I was wrong. I was wrong this whole time. The Epstein files were the most important thing that we could possibly be talking about or focusing on ever in history. Because this gives us content forever. That's why we needed the Epstein files, is just so we could talk about, we always say the Clintons murdered a guy, but now we could say the Bushes murdered and sacrificed. I shouldn't say that. This is a joke. It's a joke. I would never support these allegations. He ate a guy. The Bushes ate a guy. That's what we're going to need, a new sound drop. Norm, R.I.P. Norm, from the grave. Can we get, what about the Bushes? They ate a guy. Donald Trump is like making people disintegrate. We're gonna get a book about how Donald Trump watched some kid that after he, diddled him, they disintegrated. Just like spontaneously disintegrated. That's what we're getting from the Epstein files. This is awesome. This is the best fiction book I've ever read. 2007 DOJ memo. Plus, he's like working with guys in tech and like very high level engineers. People like Ilhan are trying to talk to him. You think he didn't have AI that could just make fake emails and make fake all sorts of stuff? All this could be made up by email. R.I.P. Norm. That's true. Yes. All right. DOJ memo lays out the case against Epstein that was never brought. Is this the one about Katie Johnson? Dude, if anybody brings up the name Katie Johnson in a debate about Epstein, you should crush them immediately. We went over that when we were prepping for that one debate. Katie Johnson is a fake debunked claim that was made and put out in, I think, 2015, and it was debunked by 2016 by the FBI and the DOJ. Crazy claims. Her story, you can listen to her deposition. Her story doesn't make any sense. And her story was written by the guy. They found this out that basically she was just a scripted actress. Katie Johnson isn't a real person. It's a name they made up. And then the pictures of her are like pictures of Trump with I forget who it was in his lap, but he has like a younger looking girl and she's kind of leaned against him and his arms on her. And they say, this is Katie Johnson. And it's a picture of like some young actress, some child actress that's meeting Trump. And they gave her a fake name. And the story was written by a screenwriter or a writer for the Jerry Springer Show. True story. That's who they point to when they're talking about Katie Johnson. Look into it. It's been debunked for so long. And that stuff's in the Epstein files, of course, because it's an accusation made relating to, so all the random tips, all the world's biggest Me Too is in the Epstein files. It's almost like put it on purpose just to flex. Let me see this. The case was ultimately never tried. Epstein wasn't charged. Asked for approval from supervisors to bring 60 count indictment against Epstein. Identified 27 girls and women between the ages of 14 and 23 who went to Epstein's house for massage services. The memo says the victims were typically paid $200 for visit. I heard as much as $300, even more. You could get more than $300. Document says the local police department's investigation found that Epstein's assistant girlfriend sometimes joined in the sexual activity. This is not juicy. Dr. Peter Atea, longevity expert, apologizes for indefensible email. Is this the guy who's trying to never age? Longevity expert. Who's that guy that's trying to live forever? He's in the Epstein files. Let me see. No, that's not him. Peter Atea, a doctor and author well known for his research on longevity, apologizes for embarrassing, tasteless, and indefensible emails. Where is it? In 2016, he wrote to Epstein, PUSSY is indeed low carb. Still awaiting results on gluten content, though. They put this as one of the craziest things in the Epstein files. I think this is one of the... He came out and apologized for this. That's funny. Lawyers for Epstein survivors ask court to force DOJ to take down Epstein files. Lawyers for Epstein survivors are asking them to take down the Epstein files? Wait a second. Whoa. You don't get to go protest in front of Trump's White House and beg and cry for the files to be released in transparency. And then when the files come out, that they spent a bunch of time trying to redact your information, and the files come out, and some of it slipped through because there's 3 million of them. Some of it slips through. Now you want the files taken down. Shocker. Shocker. Wow. The lawyers of the survivors are asking for the files to be taken down. Isn't that crazy? Oh my God. 2 attorneys said they have reported thousands of redaction failures. Oh my gosh. Yo, they bitch and moan and complain and whine. And then the files come out. They say it's too redacted. Look at all these redactions. We don't want all these redactions. Files come out, and then the survivors are like, they didn't redact enough. Bring them back. Get them back. They didn't redact enough. There's some of it slipped through. I didn't want you to know about that. I just wanted you to focus on this. I didn't want you to know about this and this and this. This is so funny. Oh my gosh. I feel vindicated. And yeah, there's some bad stuff about Trump in there. Do I believe it? No. I don't believe half of what's in here. I don't know. I haven't went through all of it. It's going to take me the next 17 years. But eventually I'll get through it, guys. We're going to start working on it every day. You ready? I'm going to start streaming daily. We're just going to go through the Epstein files for the next 17 years. What's your opinion about the stupid Grammys? I don't have no idea. I don't pay attention to the Grammys. I thought Slim hated the Grammys. No, I said, you think I give a damn about a Grammy? I don't know anything about the Grammys. I know a bunch of people wore Ice Out pins and crap like that. Shocker. Shocker. But other than that, I don't know. Were the Grammys in the Epstein files? 2026 Grammys was in the Epstein files, I bet. Because there is a bunch of stuff in here from like 2025. There's Epstein files from 2025 talking about the Epstein files in the Epstein files. It's a vicious circle. You got Epstein files about Epstein files about Epstein files about Epstein files in the Epstein files. It's crazy. It goes deep. The rabbit hole goes deep, but I'm here for it. Next 17 years of content, Epstein files. You guys ready? Boy, I'm ready. There's no conceivable degree of institutional incompetence sufficient to explain the scale, consistency, and persistence of kind of redundant, but I guess it makes sense, of the failures that occurred, particularly where the sole task ordered by the court and repeatedly emphasized by DOJ was simple: redact known victims' names before publication. But some of them slipped through. Oh, man. Too many redactions. Not enough redactions. Too many files released. Not enough files released. Too many files released. We can't possibly go through all this. This should not be in here. What is this? This is a receipt from Blockbuster. Epstein talks with Steve Bannon. I watched this video interview. This released. And I haven't finished watching it. I'm like an hour and a half through it. It's 2 hours long, but there's a Steve Bannon interview in there. It's on YouTube now. They arrested Don Lemon at the Grammys? No, they arrested him before the Grammys. I think he was out before the Grammys. They did arrest him at the Grammys? I don't know. Maybe they did arrest him. But anyway, I don't know what stupid Grammy stuff you talking about. Half hoot. Trump lashes out at Grammys host Trevor Noah. Oh, it's just got a bunch of stories from today. So that's a different story. Yeah, I'm not going to cover that. Okay. So that's some of the stuff.
Top Justice Department official says that.
Let's see what, this is also CBS News. What do I have from ABC? What's ABC saying? DOJ releasing 3 million pages. Files didn't protect Trump. Deputy AG said. The files did not protect Trump. So it's not like they picked and choose. Lefties are going to be like, oh, well, they're just going to redact the stuff about Trump. No, they didn't redact the stuff about Trump. It's all in there. If you want to see about the children that he vaporized with his mind powers after he raped them, that's in there. It's all in there, guys. Definitely true, real stuff. Trump vaporized a young boy. And him and, dude, there's some crazy stuff in there. I wish I could just, Asmongold did it. If you watch his video, he's got a collection of like some of the wildest stuff, but he's pulling it from X. And, I don't know. I don't have a lot from X. I have the Bush story here. The George Bush. I'd like to add a few points of disclosure by the purported victim. This is interview of purported Epstein victim. Thanks. I didn't realize Bush raped him too, okay? This is what the Epstein files say. We need to read this. This is from the DOJ. I'd like to add a few other points disclosed by the purported victim. While on this yacht, he witnessed African-American males having sex with white blonde females, all of whom were bleeding during intercourse. Wow. This is the next 17 years of content, ladies and gentlemen. He was a victim of a type of ritualistic sacrifice in which his feet were cut with a scimitar, but left no scarring. On the yacht, he witnessed babies being dismembered, their intestines removed, and individuals eating the feces from these intestines. He was also raped by George Bush, the first, senior. He was also, and then it just says, dash, he was also raped by, this is from the Epstein files, guys. You know, YouTube. Allegedly. I don't believe this. So, but then it says we looked into this. There's no victim disclosed he was escorted to the FBI building by Michael Moore, who is the creator of True Pundit, described by multiple online sources as a conspiracy-driven news website that attempts to paint the FBI in a bad light. Moore has a criminal record as a result of an FBI investigation. Let me know if you want to discuss the former FBI agent. And then I think page 2, it's like, none of this has been confirmed. There's really no sense in looking into this. At 1,200 hours, a male identified as one blank arrived at the C-20 office, stated he was unemployed, resides with his mother, and her unemployed, morbidly obese boyfriend. Stated he has ingested hallucinogenic mushrooms as well as other illicit substance in the past and currently smokes marijuana. Reported being raped, sodomized by his great uncle since the age of 5 years old until the age of 22. Described meeting Epstein at a yacht club. Of his relatives were members, first at age 5 and later at age 8. States he was raped and sodomized by Epstein in 2000 on a large yacht. 9 out of redacted, as well as by former U.S. President William J. Clinton. States the also current President Trump, along with his wife Melania, were present during the said yacht trip in 2000. Trump not married to his current spouse until 2005. Reports while being raped by Epstein and Clinton, he was in a heavy drug-induced state. Stated all the above incidents were recovered, repressed memories until he began therapy in 2016. So this is a homeless guy who lives with his mom, who's on drugs, comes into the FBI building and just says, hey, in 2000, I was on a yacht with Clinton, Trump, Epstein. They all took turns raping me. Where's my money? This is going to be... Yeah, I know, Auntie. That's why I said we need a Bush one. I said he needs to come back from the dead.
Murderers. Yeah.
Oh, Clinton, he murdered a guy.
It's on my soundboard. He had repressed memories until 2016, offered no supporting or corroborating evidence or witnesses that could be contacted, appeared to me emotionally unbalanced and not intoxicated. Oh, he was sober when he came into the station. At this time, it is not recommended that any additional investigative resources be expended concerning this claim. Wow. This is what we got for a long time. Let's watch this video.
The review of the Jeffrey Epstein files is over. The same
Is
official
over?
indicated
Already?
there would be no new charges. Now the Trump administration is facing backlash from Epstein survivors and Democrats. This was California Congressman Ro Khanna yesterday.
There is a demand for elite accountability, but the survivors' lawyers that I've talked to have said that the survivors are still upset. They're upset that many of their names accidentally came out without redactions, and they want to make sure the rest of the files come out.
CBS News
Ro
Justice
Khanna.
correspondent Scott MacFarlane joins us from our Washington bureau with more on this. Scott, you've been sifting through as much of this as you can. What's in this so-called final batch?
It's a process. We're still working through millions of pages here, Errol. And it's worth noting these were released more than 40 days after the legal deadline for the Department of Justice to do so. No one besides Epstein and former associate Ghislaine Maxwell has been charged, but the Department of Justice insisting its work is done has only fueled more controversy.
The millions of pages of Jeffrey Epstein materials show the prominent men who were once in the disgraced sex offender circle, including these photos of former Prince Andrew on all fours over an unidentified woman on the floor. Queen Elizabeth's son has denied all wrongdoing, but British Prime Minister Keir Starmer called on him to testify to Congress. And this appears to be an email from Elon Musk to Epstein in 2012, asking, "What day, night will be the wildest party on your island?" Sent 4 years after.
Dang, Elon trying to get an invite to the party. Yeah, Asmongold's coverage of this was crazy, but I don't have 3 hours to go through all this with you guys, just this. So we had to kind of cram it all in, but Fuentes gave a reaction too. I'll talk about that in a minute.
Epstein pleaded guilty to soliciting a minor for prostitution. Musk, who repeatedly has called for the release of an Epstein client list, denies any wrongdoing. Writing over the weekend, "If I actually wanted to spend my time partying with young women, it would be trivial for me to do so without the help of a creepy loser like Epstein." The new documents also show Commerce Secretary Howard Lutnick arranged a visit to Epstein's island with his wife and children in 2012, after which Epstein passed.
"If I actually wanted to party with young girls, I could definitely do it."
Along this message to Lutnick: "Nice seeing you." But late last year, Lutnick said he had cut off ties with Epstein years earlier.
My wife and I decided that I will never be in the room with that disgusting person ever again.
On Friday, Lutnick told the New York Times, "I spent zero time with him." A Commerce Department spokesman said Secretary Lutnick had limited interactions with Mr. Epstein in the presence of his wife and has never been accused of wrongdoing. Other emails show New York Giants co-owner Steve Tisch asked Epstein to connect him with women. In a May 2013 email,
well, that guy looked like a creepy guy. Steve Tisch over here trying to get a dish.
Invited Tisch to his mansion late in the evening. Tisch responded,
He knew a lot of sports team owners.
"Can I expect trouble?" In a statement Friday, Tisch said he and Epstein exchanged emails about adult women, adding, "I did not take him up on any of his invitations and deeply regret associating with Epstein." President Trump consistently has said he kicked Epstein out of his Mar-a-Lago club and ended their friendship 2 decades ago. And while there are hundreds of references
but he talked to him one time in 2015.
to Trump in the trove of newly released documents, the president claimed they further exonerate him.
Not only does it absolve me, it's the opposite of what people were hoping, the radical left.
The Friday release was only partial, just more than half of the projected 6 million pages. But the Department of Justice now says the review is over. A new statement from Epstein survivors said, "This is not over. We will not stop until the truth is fully revealed and every perpetrator is finally held accountable."
Bro, we're going to need you to take those files back because you got our names in there. We could go protest in front of a building, in front of the White House, but we don't want you to know our names.
Major issue in this release, dozens of unredacted pictures of young women's nude bodies and faces. The New York Times flagged at least...
Did they redact the nudity? I don't want to go through it on the stream if they didn't redact the nudity. I don't want to like be clicking through here and then we get to a video and it's like snuff porn. Because I heard there's some of that in there. Have you guys watched all 2,000 of videos of Jeffrey Epstein's corn collection? A lot of it completely unrelated to him. Just his collection of videos is on there. Yeah. Jeffrey Epstein's porn collection, not videos he made, not personal videos, not recordings. Those are in there too. But also just his collection of his movies that he got from like Showtime or whatever, Skinamax, whatever corno that he had. But there's some like snuff in there, so you got to be careful when you're looking through it. There's some like torture corn.
40 explicit photos to the Department of Justice. Meanwhile, CBS News has learned several lawmakers...
Yeah, it's either nothing or it's everything.
...to the records.
It's either all nothing or it's the giant, most craziest conspiracy in the history of man. And I think it's the second one. And I think we're just going to read Epstein files for the next 17 years.
Check if the Department of Justice is illegally withholding files, Errol.
What's ABC? Oh, we already were looking at ABC. Survivors' names. The DOJ did not protect Trump. They didn't protect Trump with this. So, you know, nobody needs to be complaining. Oh, he's just going to he's going to put out stuff, but it's not going to have anything bad about him. Bro, Trump can vaporize people with his mind, according to the Epstein files. FBI interview records, internal documents. I don't care about all this. Musk is mentioned. Elon Musk to island December 6th. The daily schedule for Epstein. Reminder, Elon Musk to island December 6th. Is this still happening? An email Musk sent Epstein will be in the BVI Starbucks area over the holidays. Is there a good time to visit? 2 days later, Epstein replied that early in the new year would be suitable and added always space for you before sending another message on Christmas Day. The second or the third would be perfect. I will come and get you. Musk initially responded that he would need to return to Los Angeles on January 2nd, but later said he could delay his departure by 1 day. Musk then asked Epstein again, when should we head to your island? On the 2nd? In an exchange from December 2012, Musk asked Epstein, do you have any parties planned? I've been working to the edge of sanity this year, and so once my kids head home after Christmas, I really want to hit the party scene in St. Bart's or elsewhere and let loose. The invitation is much appreciated, but a peaceful island experience is the opposite of what I'm looking for. Epstein replied that he understood. I will see you on St. Barth. The ratio on my island might make Talila uncomfortable, possibly referring to Musk's then wife. The ratio on my island. Old men to young ladies. I don't think Elon cared about that. The ratio. I think he wanted that ratio. 3 data sets. What are these data sets? 3 data sets to his public website. Just one of those sets included by over 300,000 items. Yeah, we have it here. I'm not a robot. This is 3.5 million responsive pages in compliance. Department of Justice today published over 3 million additional pages responsive to the Epstein Files Transparency Act, and that's right here. This should be the Transparency Act. Yeah, this is the Transparency Act. I think we read through this on a previous stream, so, or at least skimmed through it. I might have read all of it on a stream, actually. It's only 6 pages. But anyway, that's the Epstein Transparency Act. And then the files. You could, like, search through it. Like, what if I just searched torture? There's a lot of files coming up. But we need stuff from data set 11 and 11 and 12, right? 10, 11, and 12. What are the new ones that dropped? The other ones were already up. Yes, I'm 18 years old. Better stay out of the UAE for a while. This was reportedly related to a sour business transaction. UAE torture. Dear friend, why isn't anyone listening? So, like, I don't know. I'm trying to just like watch videos and stuff of people finding crazy stuff in here. I don't have time to dig through 3 million files. I'm going to be honest. When Sarah Palin commented at this last week's National Rifle Association convention, waterboarding is how we baptize terrorists. She did worse than offend, worse than degrade human beings, worse than... So I don't even know what this stuff is. In the war on drugs, says Nobel Prize winning economists. Sure they do. Why isn't anyone listening? As a liberal Democrat who is interested in politics as well as the welfare of my fellow men and women, I often find myself watching mayors and company frontline hardball. What is this? See? Anyway, what did I search here? Trump. Epstein files. No, this is not what I want. Epstein library. DOJ disclosures under the Epstein. Where the heck are they? Oh, here we go. So it's 10 and 11 and 12. Let's look at 12. There's all sorts of confidential for attorney's eyes only. Redacted that my mom lied about Mr. Glickman all the time. She lied about work trips, about Michigan, and about Clearwater. Now he is dead, and I am being sent to live with her friend. Back and forth for how long? Went to a party at this huge house to meet this man named Mr. Robert and his pretty wife, Jill. Same exact British lady from Clearwater was there. She talked to me all night. She wants me to come to her house in Florida so I can learn new things to get away from Mary. What is that feeling? What is this? No one can prepare you for this shit. I'm so fucking lost. Why did Mr. Coggin agree to this? Jeffrey treats me like I'm special property. And when I need Ghislaine, she is working. And Mary is just as batshit crazy as my mom. Joe Gibbs is so nice, but Dan Snyder is a pig. The other girls, well, some are nice, but 3 I hate. Alice in fucking Wonderland for them. A red-skinned hogget? The heck is that? Thank God my parents picked me up for being a Rockefeller. That plane Mr. Dana had me on was scary. Both he and Larry Summers are fucking disgusting. Hope no relation to Tracy. I guess it's a royal thing. Gross. Andrew is like his brother in this way. Should not brag because that was yucky. Does this lady know you can't have any dignity if you've been with him? I know I have none. Only Skittles. What is this? Oh, it's just paper. It's just confidential for attorney's eyes only. I am very sorry, little one. What are these bets and why do I have to take photos? I am lost. Mr. Modi, Mr. Robert, Mr. Sant, Mr. Lugwood, Mr. Chichi, Mr. Mora, Mr. Good Latte, Mr. Atkins are not who they say. Run, run, run. Dude, what is this? This is what we're going to be reading through for the next 17 years, guys. Connect the dots. Redskin owners, AI spam. That's exactly what I was thinking. Exactly what I was thinking. I'm very sorry, little one. What are these? Walk down Madison Avenue. My mother has lost her fucking mind, even though Ghislaine said it was best to take me home because Mr. Black is so important for some reason over my health. There's going to be hell to pay. I ruined their trip, and I am dramatic when that fat fuck bit me. He threw me on the floor and blood all over Jeffrey's carpet, and I am the issue. Who the fuck bites someone sick? No one is that important, and Leon can go fuck himself. I hate New York. Leon page with a poem entitled Stopped Dead. Is this like her journal? Is this like some victim's journal? Her diary? Is that what it's supposed to be? Leon Black underlined words in the poem. Birth, cry, fatso, millionaire. It's violent. Goddamn baby screaming. There's always a bloody baby. Your 7 chins, still as a ham. Clipping, protected from the little girl lost. Me, I'm so sorry I keep failing. So, a lot of it's just going to be jumbled gobbledygook. What did I just click on? The first one? I'm scared to click through these. I don't know what's going to happen. This is Grumbridge. FBI internal use only, unclassified, law enforcement sensitive. So I wonder what they're like. They're probably using AI to skim through it. We did a complete scrub and located a few documents associated with Epstein that were not included in the case file because they were not of evidentiary value. Well, now all that's coming out. So there's Epstein files on Epstein files on Epstein files on Epstein files for the last 500 years. And we get no closer to the truth. Sounds like a teenager's diary. Yeah, that's kind of what I was thinking. Where did I get that from? Oh. Turned 17 years old. More from the diary. I will never be able to forgive myself for not being able to tell you what Miss Vicky does and what really happens in Florida and California. Tell who? Your journal? Why can't you tell your diary? Hindustan Times says George Bush in the Epstein files, shocking allegations emerged. So this is the one that we read. Fuentes made merch, and it's like this hoodie, but it says USA instead of JEE or whatever his says. So Fuentes did his reaction, and that's getting all sorts of backlash. A lot of people are upset about the things he said. Guys, it sounds like he's a confirmed show watcher, actually. Sounds like he's saying what I was saying the whole time. I was like, oh, Nick's been listening to me. He's stealing my material. All the stuff he says that everybody's freaking out about now, I've been saying that. And I saw Andrew doing an Epstein debate with, I think it was that Brian Shapiro guy. And of course, they go straight to, if you try to say either the Epstein files aren't that big of a deal, or there's going to be a lot of crazy crap in here in the files, and it's a kind of a nothing burger, or a bunch of false allegations about Trump and nothing that really is evidence against Trump. If you say anything like that, you are now a pedophile protector or a pedophile defender. That's what they'll call you. And that Brian guy called Andrew, did that to Andrew. First pretender did that with me. Canceled the debate because he said I was a PDF protector because I laugh about this stuff. Because this is ridiculous. So this thing about Bush comes from this guy on X, but I haven't found it in the files. They should give you a link just straight to the files. I just see a screenshot. There's going to be people posting pictures that aren't even in the Epstein files. Yeah, I did. That was pretty good. George Bush, Elon Musk, 4chan. The Trump mentioned 5,000 times. Let me see what else do I have in here. Anyway, I went through the stuff about Trump. There's crazy stuff about Trump in there too. The accusations from Katie Johnson are in there, which is gonna You know, that's been resurfacing for a while, the Katie Johnson thing. And you should just shut that down immediately because that's been debunked. Met its legal obligations. I don't know how much time you guys want to spend just clicking through these, but I will not try to torture you. I just wired $20,000 for the car last week. Please don't torture me by calling. This is just because I looked up torture. What if we look up Clinton? Clinton divorce crisis. Oh yeah, is this not Clinton, but somebody, who was it that while they were getting divorced from their wife, they wanted some antibiotics for an STD that they were going to give their wife. Hillary Clinton, fed up with her husband Bill's cheating, secretly met with a top lawyer and drew up divorce papers. She also compiled a list of his lovers to use as ammunition in the split. Hillary later decided to run for Senate seat and abandon her plans to dump Bill, but the list of lovers she drew up in haste and gave to a lawyer is still apparently sitting in that attorney's safe in Manhattan. The list includes the names of at least 2 drop-dead gorgeous Hollywood actresses, along with other names that would be recognizable to the public. Hillary, who stood by Bill during the Monica Lewinsky scandal, drew up the list after Clinton left the White House, and Bill was linked to several attractive women. There were rumors about Bill's involvement with a curvy 38-year-old Lisa Beltzberg, who'd split from her husband Matthew Bronfman, heir to Seagram liquor fortune. He's also linked to actress Julia Bowen and Saffron Burrows, British socialite Ghislaine Maxwell, and New York socialite Sale Johnson. The Inquirer exclusively revealed Bill's extramarital affair with blonde divorcee Julie Tauber McMahon, whose millionaire father was a top Democratic Party fundraiser and a family friend of the Clintons. Julie denied the affair and yet lived only a few miles away from the Clinton home in Chappaqua, New York. So we got some steamy evidence of Bill Clinton cheating.
Oh, Clinton, he murdered
And they murdered a guy. 32 plane trips from... Oh, that's from Data Set 9, so that's already been released. Where's the new stuff? Anyway, I'm not going to go through all these forever, but I'm sure throughout the next couple weeks, we'll be getting a lot of stuff coming out of this. Yeah, Bill Gates is all over it. You thought it was better than Rogan? Yeah, maybe. He seemed more comfortable with Brian. So, yeah, lots of stuff in here. I didn't collect a good gathering of the craziest stuff from them, but Clinton's in there. All sorts of people are in there. Thousands and thousands of people are in there. So, have fun with that. I think a lot of it's garbage. I'm not going to be sifting through all of it. Anyway, let's continue here. What else we got? We got a government shutdown. Another government shutdown. Yeah, Gates is all over it. Another government shutdown. I'm not going to spend a lot of time on the government shutdown, but it's led to rioting. LA riots. I thought it was over ICE, but nope, it's over government shutdown. You'd think that these people who riot would be happy when the government shuts down. Like they hate the government shuts down, and then they riot because they're mad the government shut down. I don't get it. But what do we have from PBS? Close that. Get that out of here. Sorry, 1 second. Okay. So why is the government shut down this time? It's going to shut down every 3 months now. That's just the new norm. The Democrats are striking. What's up, producer? Did I? Oh, give me one. Well, hold on. I got to answer somebody about something. Be a white man going. Dang it. The partial government shutdown that started Saturday is vastly different from the record closure in the fall. They want to not make sure people don't freak out. Too late. They're already rioting in LA. Shut it down. That is mostly because the shutdown may not last long. The White House will try to pass funding legislation quickly when lawmakers return Monday that would end the shutdown. Congress already has passed half this year's funding bills, ensuring that several important federal agencies and programs continue to operate through September. Nutrition assistance programs, for example, should be unaffected. Funding will lapse at least temporarily that's why they started rioting, because they're like, we're going to lose our food stamps again? No! They hated that. Funding will lapse at least temporarily for the Pentagon, and agencies such as the Department of Homeland Security and Transportation. Essentially, functions will continue, but workers could go without pay if the impasse drags on. Some could be furloughed. Why is there another shutdown? The government funding process has been going smoothly with key lawmakers in the House and Senate funding bipartisan agreements, but the shooting deaths this month in 2 U.S. citizens, Alex Preddy and Renee Good, by federal agents in Minneapolis changed the dynamic. Democrats were incensed after Preddy's killing and demanded that one of the 6 remaining funding bills for DHS and its associated agencies be stripped from the package passed by the House. They said the bill must include changes to immigration enforcement, including a code of conduct for federal agents and a requirement that officers show identification. Eager to avoid another shutdown, President Donald Trump's White House struck a deal with Democrats to temporarily fund DHS at current levels for 2 weeks while the negotiations played out. The Senate passed the 5-bill funding package Friday, but it must pass the House again before becoming law. The House is not returning until Monday, ensuring funding will lapse for the parts of the government, at least temporarily. Have there been previously brief or weekend shutdowns? Yes. Typically, the effects were not visible. What funding is impacted? So basically, Renee Good and Alex Preddy got killed, so the Democrats are crying. They're like, we don't want to give as much money to DHS. Trump is striking a deal with them. A lot of people saying he's backing down. It does kind of seem like that. He put out a post. I think I have it in here somewhere about how he's not going to send federal agents or National Guard or anything to deal with protesters and agitators unless they get near a federal building. Then he will defend it. But as long as they're not messing with federal officers and federal buildings, they can destroy their cities as much as they want. Which I kind of don't like that. I kind of want to be critical and say, Trump, we were calling for Insurrection Act. Shut this shit down. You have to stamp it out. You have to crush it. But Trump's not as radical as I am. And Trump is saying, let's make a deal. Let them burn their cities as long as they don't bother the feds. I'm sending great reels to your messenger. Oh yeah, that's you sending them. I forget who people are on Facebook because I'm not used to your normal name. But yeah, I've seen you send me a bunch. I have to go through them someday. So did it reopen? It might already be reopened while I was sleeping. Let me look real quick. Is government House plans to vote tomorrow on government funding bill amid partial shutdown. That was an hour ago. So maybe it'll reopen tomorrow. But unfortunately, this led to more riots. Los Angeles Times. National shutdown brings protests to LA. They always got to protest something. Melt ice. Protests and strikes began Friday in response to immigration enforcement actions in Minnesota. After hours of peaceful protests in downtown Los Angeles on Friday, tensions escalated outside the Metropolitan Detention Center, with law enforcement pushing into a crowd of about 200 people and spraying a chemical agent on demonstrators. Amid the unrest, the city went on tactical alert shortly after 5 p.m., according to the Los Angeles Police Department. Federal authorities are taking debris, bottles, and other objects, the department wrote on X. Federal authorities have declared an unlawful assembly at the detention center, and they have deployed pepper balls and tear gas. The department later issued a dispersal order at 6:30. The LAPD said arrests were being made. A spokesperson for the LAPD said Saturday morning that 8 people were arrested, 6 on suspicion of failing to disperse, 1 on suspicion of assault with a deadly weapon on an officer, and 1 for an alleged curfew violation. Turkseys did not have details on the circumstances of the alleged assault or whether there was any property damage during the event. Another protest is scheduled Saturday. Every day. They're doing it every day, dude. It's crazy. This is wild. Hundreds gather for second day of anti-ICE protests in Los Angeles. So this is Saturday. Do I have video? I have what is this? A little bit of video. Oh, this is not. Play this later. Hundreds of demonstrators gathered in downtown Los Angeles for a second day to protest against Trump's administration, immigration enforcement operations, union leaders, activists, civic groups, and community members. Dude, they had a huge one down here on the 30th here in Salt Lake City. So this was the 30th. This was the ICE out protests nationwide. They were going crazy here too. Shooting of Alex Preddy, blah, blah, blah. I lived in Minneapolis for 29 years, and I hate seeing what's happening out there right now. Why don't I have... Second. Un momento. Is this an overhead view the whole time? No, this is a good one.
And we start with that breaking news in downtown LA. Anti-ICE demonstrators clashing with officers amid a national ICE out day of protest. I'm David Ono.
I'm Giovanna Lotta. We have been following these demonstrations.
And I should have went down to this because they went all over the city. They were right down the street from where I live. They went all over the city, marching on the ICE out day. I was just too tired after work. I should have just come home and went to sleep instead of streaming and then woke up and went out there. I missed it.
Demonstrations all day long, beginning just around 1 o'clock, with tensions boiling over at the federal building late this afternoon. This right now is a live look of downtown LA from Air 7, and you can see the LAPD.
Look at all these cops.
They are on tactical alert right now. That means no LAPD officers can go home at the moment. Police say people are launching debris.
Damn, they can't even go home.
Objects at federal officers at that federal building, and that.
When I was looking up information on this, I put in LA riots in Google, and it said LA riots 2018, LA riots 2019, 2020, 2021, 2022, 2023, 2024, 2025, 2026. Took a while to find which LA riots I was talking about.
That's part of the clashes that we saw earlier. They have deployed pepper balls and tear gas.
This all breaking about 90 minutes ago. So that is the video from 90 minutes ago when things started to turn violent. You can see people throwing things at federal officers. This is at the Federal Detention Center, which is near that intersection that you're looking at in the live picture. Thousands of people, they marched in the streets earlier today. The things were peaceful, but then they turned violent on that scene on the right-hand side. And as a result, a tactical alert was called by the LAPD. Keep in mind, those are federal officers they're throwing things at on the right-hand side. So when the LAPD showed up at this intersection of Alameda and Aliso, the crowd's attention was then turned to the LAPD, who have now established a skirmish line right there on Alameda. That is the bridge that's going over the 101 right now. And that has garnered the crowd's attention. So there is a standoff going right now. And Aliso, the street that is going up and down, north and south, that is at a complete standstill due to traffic. And let's check in now with Eyewitness News reporter Tim Pulliam. He is live on the ground in downtown where this skirmish is taking place. Tim.
He's got a COVID mask. Is that supposed to be for tear gas? That's not going to help you, my boy.
That's right, David, Giovanna. Yeah, I'm right here by the skirmish line, as you can see over my shoulder. I have a mask on because it is a bit smoky in the air, a little bit of an irritant. And you can see right now as LAPD moves in on this crowd, telling them to disperse. They have been out here all day and all evening, and as you can see, this crowd is refusing to disperse. They are in a contentious conflict right now with LAPD as LAPD tries to control this situation. They determined around 5:41 p.m. that this was an unlawful assembly, and it's because of those images that you saw. I see a police officer pushing one of the demonstrators right now, but the images that you saw from Air 7 of protesters throwing things at the federal building, at security officers by the federal building, this got chaotic and contentious at times. There's even graffiti on the wall that we just cannot.
These cops don't look ready. They don't look ready. They do not look ready. They look scared.
Show you because it is explicit. This is a very dramatic situation right now. They have been out here for hours, as I've said. Hundreds of people demanding to end.
So they're rioting
in our community. They want
for
them
ICE.
out of here.
That headline said it was over the government shutdown. Maybe they said that's what it was, but it's always just, they're always just complaining about something. Ever since Occupy, it just set off a thing of tards who just flow to the streets whenever there's any sort of grievance, whenever Democrats have any problem, just go riot and strike, don't go to work, close your business for the day, take a holiday. We're going to take a holiday in remembrance of ICE. Hold on a second. When you want go on.
When we arrived here earlier today, we met an attorney that was protesting. His name is Josh Ogle from Mid-City, and he said that he was pepper sprayed while activating and assuming his First Amendment right to protest against ICE. Listen to this.
It feels like they're trying to put a boot on my neck, and I'm not going to let it hurt. I mean, it stinks, but you got to do the hard work of democracy, and that's what this is.
Tell me what led up to you being pepper sprayed.
They were trying to get a van out, and we were on the sidewalk. They had gotten the van out, and they were going back inside. We were closing up the gap on the sidewalk, and an officer looked me dead in my eyes and sprayed me close as I am to you right now.
All right, so you are taking a live look at Alameda Street. This is here right outside of the federal building, and you can see this police skirmish line pushing these protesters back, asking them to disperse. Again, this dispersal order came out about 22 minutes ago after things got chaotic. You can see several signs, you can see the flags. These protesters are determined to let their voices be heard, even though right now this is an unlawful assembly. I'm going to leave you with this image. It's unclear how long this is going to last, but
it's going to last forever. It's never going to end. So, and it wasn't just LA, it was across the country. Here's Arizona, a quick one. Protesters swarmed federal agents during a raid at an Arizona Mexican restaurant. We're just trying to make burritos, and they come and they protest, and they riot. And now the feds are here, and we have to run. Where's audio? He threw something at that cop. He got lit up. Then they did their protests at the schools all week long. Some girl got hit by a car. She ran out into traffic. You should not be playing in traffic. You should be in class. What else is going on? What's this one? Oh, and then Trump posted this. Oh, there's also updates on Alex Preddy, by the way. Turns out, shocker, he was a known agitator at protests. This guy had spit on agents and kicked their taillight out the week before. I'm not even going to spend much time on this because this is not a shocker. People are like, do you think this justifies killing him? No, but it just shows it's a habitual thing with this guy. And if there's evidence that he was in some sort of signal chat or something and he was planning to do something violent to officers, we know his parents had told him before, stop messing with officers, you're going to get yourself killed. You know, it adds a lot of credible evidence to the side that this is not just some nice guy that was helping a poor lady cross the street. Here's what Trump posted about Preddy. The story of Alex Preddy, read by Elizabeth Warren. Trump posted, this is funny.
Caring for people was at the core of who he was. He was incapable of causing harm. Alex carried patience, compassion, and calm as a steady light within him. Even at the very end, that light was there. I recognized his familiar stillness and signature calm composure. Caring for people was
his signature calm composure. I wonder if he had a gun on him at this one. And maybe that's why he brought the gun with him this time, because at the last one, this happened. So then the next one, he brings a gun. He wants to escalate. And maybe he talked about that in chats. Maybe. We'll have to wait and see. But this is what I was talking about earlier. Trump put this out. Oh, what is that? I have instructed the Secretary of Homeland Security, Kristi Noem, that under no circumstances are we going to participate in various poorly run Democrat cities with regard to their protests and or riots, unless and until they ask us for help. We will, however, guard, and very powerfully so, any and all federal buildings that are being attacked by these highly paid lunatics, agitators, and insurrectionists. Please be aware that I have instructed ICE and or Border Patrol to be very forceful in this protection of federal government property. There will be no spitting in the face. Sorry. There will be no spitting in the faces of our officers. There will be no punching or kicking the headlights of our cars. And there will be no rock or brick throwing at our vehicles or at our patriot warriors. If there is, those people will suffer an equal or more consequence. In the meantime, by copy of this statement, I am informing local governments, as I did in Los Angeles when they were rioting at the end of the Biden term, that you must protect your own state and local property. In addition, it is your obligation to also protect our federal property, buildings, parks, and everything else. We are there to protect federal property only as a backup, in that it is local and state responsibility to do so. Last night in Eugene, Oregon, these criminals broke into a federal building and did great damage, also scaring and harassing the hardworking employees. Local police did nothing in order to stop it. We will not let that happen anymore. If local governments are unable to handle the insurrectionists, agitators, and anarchists, we will immediately go to the location where such help is requested and take care of the situation very easily and methodically, just as we did the Los Angeles riots 1 year ago, where the police chief said that we couldn't have done it without the help of the federal government. Therefore, to all complaining local governments, governors, and mayors, let us know when you are ready, and we will be there. But before we do so, you must use the word please. Before we do so, you must use the word please. Pretty please with cherries on top. And get down on your knees. Grovel. Remember that I stated in the strongest of language to beware ICE. Beware. ICE, Border Patrol, or, if necessary, our military will be extremely powerful and tough in the protection of our federal property. We will not allow our courthouses, federal buildings, or anything else under our protection to be damaged in any way, shape, or form. I was elected, and that's what America is getting. Thank you for your attention to this matter. So it's not like he's pulling out. What the heck just happened on my stream? Did the stream go down? Oh, it's good. Okay. He's not pulling out. He's just saying, if they want to burn their cities, they can burn their cities. Let them tear their cities down. That's their fault. But they come near a federal building, we're going to shut that shit down. And if you want our help, you're going to have to say pretty please with a cherry on top. And then as far as protests go, here's a clip from another church. Well, this is at a Jewish temple in New York over a vote in favor of a bill that increased ICE funding. So when Don Lemon goes into a church, freedom of press, right? Well, this guy has freedom of press. He's a journalist. Everybody has freedom of press. We're all journalists. So now we can all just start walking up into churches and shouting and protesting. That's the new norm now.
You're gonna touch me, Alex Preddy, Renee Joy, Keith Porter, Parody Law. These people were killed by ICE this month. Are you're gonna throw me out? These people, 9 people were killed by ICE this month, and you're throwing me out while I'm reading their names? How dare you?
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, now that crazy guy is gone, let us continue with our lesson. Can't hear me.
You're gonna touch me.
You can't hear me. Yeah, huh? So, yeah, Don Lemon set the standard. We're just going to start protesting in churches. And by the way, Christians are going to start walking into Muslim mosques and Jewish synagogues. Jews are going to start walking into Christian churches and mosques. And we're all just going to start running up in everybody's churches and just yelling the whole time. Yeah, that's what we're all going to do now. Because that's okay, right? If that's okay for Don Lemon to do, and it's okay for those protesters to do, and it's okay for this guy to do, then it's okay for all the religions to just go up into all the different churches and just protest. We can just protest in churches 24/7 now. It's freedom of press. I'm the press. You're the press. So let's all just go up and protest in the mosques and the synagogues. This is great. The Orthodox people can go protest in the Protestant churches. The Protestant people can go protest in the Catholic churches. Everybody can just go protest in all the churches now. That's the new norm. Speaking of Don Lemon, his charges, he was charged conspiracy against rights, specifically conspiracy to deprive congregants of their right to religious freedom. Yeah, your First Amendment doesn't get to step on my First Amendment. Violation of the FACE Act, charged with injuring, intimidating, and interfering with the exercise of the right of religious freedom at a place of worship. That's something about, we looked it up. It's something about clinic entrances. Something about clinic entrances, going into clinic entrances. Physical obstruction. The indictment alleges Lemon physically obstructed congregants attempting to leave the church and largely surrounded the pastor to intimidate him. So obstruction, intimidation, FACE Act, and conspiracy against rights. That's what he was charged with. He was released, and now he's given his responses. Who's this video? Don Lemon quotes the Bible in response to arrest for Minnesota church storming. What's he going to say? I flipped over the table like Jesus. Former CNN host Don Lemon cast himself as a persecuted journalist in a Substack post Saturday, quoting the Bible while responding to his arrest last month on federal charges stemming from an anti-ICE protest in a Minnesota church. Lemon, who was arrested without bail Friday, says he was acting as a journalist while prosecutors allege he coordinated with activists who disrupted services at City's church. Yeah, he didn't get arrested at the Grammys. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, the Grammys were yesterday. He got arrested on Friday. He was out of jail before the Grammys. There's a passage in scripture that says, "The truth shall set you free," Lemon wrote, quoting John 8:32, but it does not say it will protect you from cages. It does not say it will spare you the consequence of seeing too clearly. It does not say it will make the powerful comfortable. Shut up, Don. Politico, Don Lemon's arrest balances freedom of religion versus freedom of the press. It doesn't matter if you happen to be a former CNN journalist, he argued. Todd Blanche. Deputy Attorney General Todd Blanche on Sunday defended the administration's arrest of journalist Don Lemon, appearing to take umbrage with the former CNN anchor's documentation of a protest at a church last month. In an interview with ABC's This Week, Blanche told host George Stephanopoulos that the right to religion is just as important as the right to free press. Yeah, one doesn't trump the other. Get this out of here. Why? I can't read this. Blanche added, it doesn't matter if you happen to be a former CNN journalist. It doesn't matter if you are a rioter. It doesn't matter if you think you're peacefully protesting. You are not allowed to do that. I don't know if you watched the videos or read the indictment about what's alleged of Mr. Lemon did, but if anybody in this country thinks that it is, quote, independent journalism, I would like to have a conversation with you. Nobody in this country should feel comfortable storming into a church while it's ongoing and disrupting that church service. Yeah, that's not freedom of the press. That's not journalism. That's not independent journalism. No. Lemon was arrested Thursday night in Los Angeles for his part at an immigration protest. Grand jury indicted the now independent journalist for conspiring to deprive congregants at a church of their civil rights and violating the Freedom of Access to Clinic Entrances Act. Freedom of access to clinics. See, this is like you can't block abortion entrances and stuff like that. You also can't walk up in a church. That's a clinic for your soul. I think he orchestrated the whole thing. Yeah. Well, and if that's the thing, then that should be another charge. That should be like some sort of conspiracy charge. And then the charges should definitely stick. But if they can't prove that he helped organize it, I don't know. I think because he's got money, he's going to get let off. But that sets a precedent. That sets a precedent that now we're allowed to walk up and protest and riot in churches if he gets off for this. So I hope he doesn't. He pled not guilty. Lemon was arrested along with 8 others, including fellow journalist Georgia Fort. The DOJ's case against the journalist was initially dismissed by an appeals court before being brought before the Minnesota grand jury. It's true that they rejected the mandamus petition, Blanche said in an interview Sunday with CNN State of the Union. A judge in that court had said there wasn't probable cause, but guess what? Our system doesn't allow judges to make that decision. They can make that decision to get an arrest warrant or a complaint, but only a grand jury can bring forth an indictment. Blanche also appeared to take issue with Lemon surreptitiously avoiding saying where the demonstrators were going during the live stream, but host Dana Bash pushed back, pointing out that there were countless examples of reporters in the middle of the story being instructed not to tell anybody where we're going. So they were live streaming before, walking with the protesters, and not don't say where we're going. Don't say where we're going. They knew where they were going. There are numerous examples of when we get embargoed information that we can't report from your agency, for example, and that has happened with presidents in both parties, and we withhold reporting it until you say it's time to report it, Bash said. That's not unusual, and it's not unlike what happened with Don Lemon and Georgia Fort. Blanche replied, well, listen, you are totally correct that happens every day, and it's happened for decades. Still, Blanche said, the Justice Department must balance freedom of religion against freedom of press. Bash pressed back, Dana Bash, trying to make an example out of somebody President Trump has publicly sparred with. I don't even know what the president's even ever thought of Don Lemon, Blanche said, but I will tell you, we're not making examples of people. Yeah, he broke the law. Trump says Don Lemon's arrest is the best thing that could have happened to him.
I don't know anything about the Don Lemon thing, but he's a sleazebag.
He's a sleazebag. Everyone's known that.
Probably, from his standpoint, the best thing that could happen to him. He's getting, he's
going viral.
He was a failure. He was a failed.
So true. So true. If this was just a plan to get clicks and go viral and do something controversial, be edgy, he's trying to be like the young guys, the Wang halves. He's trying to pull a Wang half out here, but he's a bang half. He's not going hard as fuck. He's just a He's just a ban. He's just a ban. But he's not a wang aff, he's a ban. Trump recognized it. He's just trying to go viral. And he was successful. Trump's right. This is the best thing that could have happened to his career. It's that he stayed relevant. He managed to stay relevant. And notice I said outside. They did not enter. I heard what happened. You got me banned. You got me banned from my chilling hangout, you tattletale? Who, me? Don't be seen talking to me, you idiot. I heard what happened. Are you guys talking about me? I don't know what happened. But Trump called it. Don Lemon went viral.
And now he's in the news. I didn't know anything about it. No.
I didn't know anything about it. President Trump responded, no, I don't know anything about the Don Lemon thing, but he's a sleazeball. I guess it wasn't you. Never mind. Huh? I don't know what you're talking about. Maybe I did. I don't know. What happened? And then, what was the other thing? Oh, there was one other thing. Georgia. The charges against Georgia. So there's criminal charges brought against Georgia for them to give over, for them to hand over the, what's it called? Georgia criminal charges. To give over the election results from 2020. And they're very upset, it seems like. Breaking news, FBI criminal warrant on Fulton County 2020 ballots.
It's not connected. And that's what the lawyers are working on right now. What do we do next? And we have a band. There's a band of...
Look, they all black. They black. And this guy, they're so pissed. If there's nothing to hide, why don't you just hand it over?
Lawyers, right?
This is Fulton County. This is where we saw a lot of the water mains exploding and, you know, the polls close and then they open again the next morning and the election's all counted. Crazy.
They sent a subpoena. They've done it like 2 or 3 times. Right. And so since they could not get it the proper way legally through civil action, now miraculously there is a criminal action with an unnamed defendant. Who's the unnamed defendant? What is this about? Well, if it was...
You know what it's about? It's about election fraud. Everything done in the darkness will come to the light. And it's coming out. They took 700 boxes. Yeah. So they tried to do a civil charge. Georgia said, nope, we're not going to give you anything. Nope, it's not going to hold up. So we put criminal charges on them, and we're taking the election results from 2020. There's going to be some things exposed here. Trump's going a wang. Trump is going full wang half. White ass nigga going hard as fuck up until the midterms. He's got to get some things done. He's got to get some people locked up. Because at the midterms, it's very likely, you know, if they take 6 or 7 houses or chairs in the Senate at midterms, it's very likely they impeach him immediately. Again. Yet again. JRE is boring in general. JRE is kind of, his show's kind of boring sometimes, but there's some good ones. But I usually can't watch them for 3 hours straight.
Criminal, why didn't they file the criminal search warrant prior to getting denied 2 times in the civil court? Does a criminal search warrant...
The old ones were better back with like Alex Jones, and there are some gems from Joe.
When it is served, supposed to be unsealed? I do not know. I think a judge needs to answer that question. And I have asked the county attorney, and Commissioner Ivory has asked the county attorney to file whatever we can file in order.
Well, this guy's a great politician. He's just a great public speaker. You can tell he knows his politics.
To stop this madness.
Are you hearing about other raids happening in other counties?
No, I heard they're going to try to, the FBI is supposed to be doing a press conference here at 6 o'clock.
Scoot over so we can bring Shay and Eric.
Yes, yes.
Yeah, yes. I think it's very important to bring our clerk of Superior Court, Madam Shay Alexander, who's been dealing with this all day because the records are under her chain of custody.
Madam Clerk, can you talk about what it was like to see these Asian?
God, look at their squad of politicians in Fulton. Oh my God. Looks like a DEI freaking smorgasbord.
Not at this time. I can't.
Can you tell us?
I'm still processing it. I came out to go to the store to get some water and saw my colleagues and wanted to say hi. I'm just trying to get my staff some water right now. That's all I can do.
Mind right now, Clerk?
I don't know what's going on.
So,
Are you about to find out? You about to find out what's going on. Y'all helped steal an election. You know damn well what's going on. You look nervous as shit right now.
I'll say this:
they all losing their damn minds. They know what's happening.
First warrant was to the elections hub, which was incorrect, and so that had to be sent back, and they had to get a new warrant directed to the Clerk of Superior Court, Madam Shay, because she is the holder of the archives from the elections. And so apparently they have now done that. They're now going in there.
Yeah, it's probably in a lot of states, but definitely in this state. And then even more Trump stuff. He's making moves.
Premiered a little while.
So I'm not going to watch all this, but this is the Trump unveils plan to combat drug addiction. This is the Great American Recovery Act, I think. What's it called? The Great American Recovery Initiative. And seems like a good thing. We'll watch a little bit, but then I'll show you one thing I don't like is when this lady talks. She talks about addiction being a disease. I hate that language.
But there's nothing more important than what we're doing.
Not the language. I'm not tone policing, but I hate the message that it sends. It's not the right message. Addiction's not a disease. If addiction's a disease, it's the best disease you can get. If alcoholism is disease, what did Norm say? If alcoholism is a disease, it's like the best disease you can get. It's the only disease where you could go into the bar and potentially have sex with a woman with the same disease.
Right now, in my opinion. Today I'm signing a historic executive order to combat the scourge of addiction and substance abuse. Big deal in this country and probably in every country. We're calling it the Great...
Not in some countries. In some countries, they hang people who do drugs in the streets, and so people don't do drugs.
American Recovery Initiative. I'm grateful to be joined by co-chairs of this sweeping new effort, Secretary of Health and Human Services, Robert F. Kennedy Jr.
No, you don't treat it like a disease. A disease, a disease requires lifelong attention or some sort of medication to cure it. Well, there's no medication to cure the alleged disease of addiction. So what they do is they make you lifelong patients. They get you on methadone for the rest of your life, or they'll get you on some sort of other drug and just replace it and replace it and replace it. No, it's not a disease. No.
And Senior Advisor to the White House Great American Recovery Initiative, Catherine Burgum. Thank you both very much.
Catherine Burgum, is that Doug Burgum's wife?
Thank you.
Yeah, that is Doug Burgum's wife. You got a pretty wife. I like Doug.
Where's Bobby? Bobby? Hello, Bobby. Come here, give me a hand. I love Bobby. You're doing a great job, Catherine, all right? Do we think so? Who's doing a better job, him or your husband?
Where's she talk?
He's doing a good job.
RFK talks about it.
Recovery together.
There's battle and recovery. And as Secretary Kennedy just said, he brings his own lived experience. Proof
She talks about how she used to be an alcoholic.
that recovery is not theoretical, it is possible. These stories matter because they are not isolated. They reflect the reality of the over 190 million Americans, that's half our nation, who are impacted in some way by the disease of addiction. And I am one of them. I started drinking in high school, and I was a blackout drinker from the start. For 20 years, I struggled, relapsing constantly starting over, constantly trying to stay sober and failing. I reached a point where I truly did not believe there was one single reason for me to keep living, and I was suicidal at the end of my drinking. One day I was out walking alone. I didn't have faith. I wasn't religious, but something in me said I should ask for help. And out loud to no one, because it was just me, I said, I don't know if anyone is there, but I need help. And that was the day I became sober. 15 years later, I found myself somehow standing in front of people as First Lady of North Dakota, thanks to him. But I was asking people to share their stories openly about addiction so we could eliminate the shame and stigma, so more people would reach out for help and more lives could be saved. And today I'm standing here in this incredibly beautiful Oval Office. And if not for the grace of God, I would not be alive today.
Yes.
With over 23 years in recovery. That's why I'm here. My message is...
Anyway, she goes on for a while, but they keep talking about it like it's a disease. I'm not going to spend a bunch of time going into that, but I've talked about that a lot. So, if you're not a blackout drinker, are you really a drinker? That's right. That's right. You got to go hard. Wasn't the church taking care of that sort of affliction? Look upon itself as responsibility or purview of the church. Yeah, I agree with that. Because it's not a disease. It's a spiritual thing. It's not a physical. Now, there are drugs that make you physically dependent on them. And maybe that's what they're saying is like the disease is once you become physically dependent, but you have to get to the point to where you become physically. You're not just born physically dependent on opiates. Unless you're an opiate baby. If you want to say an opiate baby is born with a disease of addiction, no, they're born with an illness of dependence on opiates. But that's not a disease. Disease is the wrong word to use. It's a spiritual illness, you could say. And then the church is the clinic that could fix it. But they talk about rehabs. Forced rehab doesn't work. They say rehab, the studies say rehab doesn't work, but it does work. It's just not being done right. Yeah, that's kind of a cop-out. A lot of people die because they go to rehab. They get forced to go to rehab. They go in there, they're clean while they're in rehab for 30 to 90 days. But then they get back. The whole time, all they're thinking about doing is do the program, get out, so you can use again. And then they get out and they use again, and they don't have a tolerance anymore, and they overdose and die. That happens a lot when you force people into rehab. Now, there's probably more success rates for voluntary rehabs, but again, you got to be ready to do it yourself because it's crazy. Addiction's the only disease that you can cure by deciding to cure it, I guess, or by, in my case, crying out to God because you're gonna die if you don't stop. Realizing that you can't do it on your own, that you need God to pull you through it, which is like the whole foundation of NA and AA. Used to be founded in God. Now they've replaced God with your higher power, and it could be a chair in this room. Your higher power could be this cup of coffee. It works if you work it, but it used to be founded in God. Now it's just founded in whatever, your higher chair power, which that was to gain more membership, I guess. But anyway, they were on the right thing. It's a spiritual illness. It's not a disease. What else? So that's it for all the news, all the big news for the week. I have rapid fire news, and in rapid fire, we're going to make fun of Ilhan Omar. And then if we have any time left, we'll look at this Erica Kirk footage that dropped. Conveniently put into a video by Awaken with JP. Pagan infiltration facts. All right. Where's my folder? Reels and rapid fire. I should have checked those stuff you sent me, producer, because oh no, I did that wrong. Go on. Sorry, 1 second. I'm rearranging stuff. Yeah, I don't have a lot of funny reels this week. I should have looked in that folder and grabbed some. All right, my bad, guys. 1 second. A little discombobulated today. Okay. I do have one funny reel, though. Or maybe a couple. One of them I played the other day. I already played it. But it's pretty funny. Why is this not growing? There we go. All right. Here we go. Let's listen to this.
I learned that racism is passed down generationally, so it's internalized, which makes sense. I was walking home, it was late at night, and this black guy walks towards me, and instinctively, I grab my purse, even though logically, I know he's not for sale. He did steal my wallet, though.
Dang. The double. Hit him with the double.
Dreamed of.
All right, what else? Oh, I do have more than one. I got a couple here. Can you guys see this? This is funny. And I had to pause it for a second because this is copyright. So
y'all want to meet my
Dreamed of.
she kicked him right in the dirt. Let's watch that one more time. Boom! Ow. That was dead on. Dang. Speaking of kicking balls, is this kickball or dodgeball? I played this the other day, but if you didn't see it, this is hilarious. Get ready to laugh your ass off. Watch, watch, watch. Ready? Kick the ball. It's not over though. Oh, he's pissed. Boom! Ninja kick. Ninja kick to the face. Dang. I love Christina Mariani. I don't know who that is. Oh, this is the perpetual energy machine. This is pretty crazy. Check this out. Toast always lands butter side down. Cat always lands on its feet.
Dreamed of.
It powers the whole block. All right. Okay. What do we got in some rapid fire news? Israel and Gaza update. Gaza and Egypt border reopens nearly 2 years after Israel closed it. Gaza's only border crossing with Egypt reopened partially on Monday morning after Israel closed it nearly 2 years ago, according to an Israeli security official, allowing a small number of Palestinians to enter and leave the war-torn enclave. The European Union Border Assistance Mission is operating the Rafah crossing as the final step of the first phase of the U.S. brokered ceasefire agreement in Gaza that went into effect in mid-October. The crucial crossing, which has been largely closed since Israel seized it in May 2024, underwent a series of preparations on Sunday from the European Union, Egypt, and other parties that will be involved in running the border crossing. So that's good news. We're working towards some little bit more peace in the Middle East, I guess. Anything interesting with the Epstein disclosures? Yeah, tons of interesting stuff. Apparently, Trump raped somebody and then vaporized them with his mind afterwards. Apparently, Bush was on a boat with somebody where black guys were having sex with white women, and then Bush raped somebody and chopped him into pieces and then ate poop out of his intestines. Elon's talking about hanging out at the island. Bill Gates is up in there. Clinton's all over there. A lot of interesting nonsense in it and a lot of garbage. 2,000 videos. A large portion of it is just Epstein's porn collection. Like not even porn that he shot at the island or anything having to do with the island, just his porn collection. Yeah. A bunch of kids' journals that look fake. A lot of stuff that is fake because it's just accusations made on a tip line. Every tip made on this anonymous tip line is in there, and there's some crazy ones. What else we got? Groundhog Day. When did the Groundhog Day happen the other day? Puxatony Phil saw his shadow. What does that mean? We get in the shadow of a bitterly cold winter, Puxatony Phil has made his prediction. More winter. Yeah, well, this has been one of the most timid winters I've ever seen in Utah. Actually, it's been cold, but there's still no snow. We got like two little flurries overnight where it didn't. By the morning, it wasn't even on the ground no more. We haven't had a ground cover. Grass is still green. It's crazy. But Puxatony Phil saw his shadow, which means we get to 2 more weeks of winter, something like that. Annual holiday falls on Monday, February 2nd this year, comes after another winter storm hits parts of the U.S. As the tradition goes, if the groundhog sees a shadow, we have 6 more weeks of winter. If he doesn't, an early spring is coming. The groundhog made his prediction. Thousands gathered here to celebrate the holiday and Puxatony Phil's prediction. That'd be cool to see someday. -2-degree weather. Puxatony Phil did see his shadow and predicted that there will be 6 more weeks of winter. Been a bad winter for the East Coast. I know, that's crazy. You guys got all our snow. Marijuana. Hemp and marijuana are the same species. So why all the different laws? Because it's a way to find loopholes and stuff, basically. Chinese people take advantage of it, and they just grow pot, and they call it hemp. And a lot of the hemp farmers are actually growing hemp for polymers and papers and products and things like that, CBD oils and whatnot. But a lot of them are just growing pot. Is it hemp, cannabis, or marijuana? That depends on who's discussing the enigmatic plant that's legal in some forms for now, but faces new restrictions in other forms this fall. Confusion comes as no surprise to Nick Johnson, author of the book Grassroots, which looks at the history of the cannabis plant. Anyway, I don't really want to read this, but yeah, it's about the hemp laws and how hemp and smoking pot, THC pot is different. Forever Spin made in China? What the heck? Anyway, I want to get to Ilhan Omar. Okay, here we go. So we'll have the video of the squirt here in a little bit, but first, we already watched this on Friday and we went through a lot of this, but Ilhan Omar got squirted by this guy with what has now, we know that it's apple cider vinegar. And then she was going to punch him in the face. Trump came out, immediately said the same thing. We were all thinking, this looks fake. This looks fake as shit. Trump says it. Brandon Tatum was saying it on Piers Morgan the other night. And Ilhan Omar is responding. Let's see what she has to say.
Whether it is the president's attacks, whether it is the right-wing smears, whether it is, this person trying to physically attack me, their ultimate goal is to stop me from being a public servant.
Minnesota Congresswoman Ilhan Omar
She
says
goes,
she's
"Go punch
okay
him."
and will continue her duties after a scare last night. This man is in the Hennepin.
We went through this slow, frame by frame, with a body language analysis expert named me, not the guy in the YouTube video, because I'm a better body language expert than he is. But it's frigid, not timid. Timid? What? What did I say? I said frigid. If I said timid, I said I'm having a timid winter. You can't tell me what winter I'm having.
County Jail right now for allegedly assaulting the Congresswoman. He has not been formally charged, but he was booked for
Anthony Kazmir Kazak.
Probable cause of third-degree assault. Caroline Cummings is here with more about what happened and what we know about the investigation. Caroline?
Well, hi there, Frank. So Minneapolis police say the FBI is leading this investigation into the incident that happened last night. Sources say the substance sprayed at Congresswoman Omar turned out to be apple cider vinegar. Omar says she's doing okay, but it was a frightening encounter.
Yeah, she looked real frightening when she was trying to punch the guy in the face. And he just sits down and gets taken, doesn't resist or anything.
That comes at a time when threats against members of Congress are on the rise.
And DHS Secretary Kristi Noem must resign.
Right when she's
or
telling
face
Kristi Noem
impeachment.
to resign.
Congresswoman Ilhan Omar was a few minutes into her opening remarks at a Minneapolis town hall event Tuesday night when this man charged at her, spraying her with a substance from a syringe.
And he's right in the front row.
The man, Anthony Kazmierczak, was tackled to the ground.
Squirts her with apple cider vinegar. That doesn't make any sense. It's supposed to look like piss. He was probably supposed to squirt the whole thing so that they couldn't test it as quickly.
And hauled away. The syringe knocked out of his hand. Sources say inside was apple cider vinegar, and he was later booked in Hennepin County Jail. Court records show he has a number of traffic violations, including 2 DWI convictions. DFL Governor Tim Walz told
Maybe it was just a demonstration to show how easy it is to get somebody.
CBS News Wednesday that he spoke with Omar after the incident and said rhetoric from the White House about her does not help.
The president constantly attacks Representative Omar, attacks her citizenship, attacks the very decency of it, and we've asked him time and
Well, she got citizenship by marrying her brother.
time again to stop it. I don't believe he's capable of stopping it.
The incident comes as lawmakers' security is in focus. U.S. Capitol Police say the number of threats they're investigating against members of Congress, their families, and staff is on the rise. There was a 58% increase from 2024 to 2020.
58 rise in threats against
It
Congress.
was at a separate town hall in Minnesota last night where this moment happened.
I think she sits
to
down.
Congresswoman Ilhan Omar. She was speaking when a man charged her at the lectern, and forensic examiners have now determined.
Let's see what she has
high
to say to
probability that
Dana.
When President Trump was nearly assassinated, you responded and said, "We condemn acts of violence and pray for the victims. Make calmness and
Oh my
decency."
God, we're comparing this to an attempted assassination. A guy with some apple cider vinegar in a tube. A homeless guy that they paid with some apple cider vinegar in a tube.
Prevail, and you said it was sad.
It's
to hear
very
the tragedy
similar
that
to the
occurred.
Trump
What
assassination
went through your mind
attempt.
when you heard the president's response last night?
Well, the difference between the president and I
Dude
is
is
that
one
I
of our
was
supporters?
raised to
Definitely.
be a decent human being, and my faith teaches me to have compassion.
Right, you
and
tried-
relax, both of those things.
You were gonna punch the guy after he allegedly took an attempt on your life.
This is a president who presides over an administration that when they assassinated.
Do you know her network has gone from I think 35 or 65,000 to something like 10 million in it's in this video that I'm going to play next. We'll see it. She's gone from like 35,000 to 10 million in like 3 years. Something crazy like that.
Renee Good told us that she was a domestic terrorist that was trying to kill the federal agents when they assassinated Alex Preddy.
Why is this woman in our government?
They told us that he was a domestic terrorist who burnished a weapon. None of those things are true. They are known to be liars. They have constantly told us not to believe in our eyes. Fortunately, both of those assassinations were caught on camera, and so was what happened to me last night, caught on camera.
So when he claims it's staged, you say?
Well, I mean, this is also somebody who was talking about me in his town hall in Iowa, and then seems to exhibit some sort of dementia when he says he doesn't think about me. Maybe it is time for us for the 25th Amendment to be invoked, because he certainly cannot remember what he said and has done an hour ago.
Now Trump is the one with dementia. Biden, he was perfectly well fit-minded, you know, he was a genius up there. Trump definitely has dementia. 25th Amendment his ass. See, we lose the midterms, he's getting impeached immediately. Again.
He was just posting about you.
No, I don't think that means he's going to be out of there, but they'll try.
He had posted about you.
They'll do the same thing they did for the first 4 years. They won't let him get anything done. They'll keep trying to impeach him every 6 months.
And it reminded me of what he said when he announced that he was sending Tom Homan into Minneapolis. In that same post, he said, the Justice Department and Congress are looking at Congresswoman Ilhan Omar, who left Somalia with nothing and is now reportedly worth more than $44 million.
$44 million, yeah. Her net worth was like $35,000 when she got into Congress, and then in however long she's been there, like what, 8 years, something like that, 6, 8 years, something. She's now worth $44 million. Huh. How's that happen? How much do Congress people get paid? How much do Congresswomen get paid? Is it like $10 million a year? How much do they make? How much do Congress people make? How much do congressmen? Annual salary of $174,000. And it's been that way since 2009. $174,000. Speaker of the House is $223,000 a year. $174,000 a year. How long has Ilhan Omar been in Congress? 7 years. $175K a year, 7 years. She's gone from $35,000 to $44 million. Something's not mathing here.
Time will tell all. Were you aware there is a DOJ investigation here? The New York Times says it started in part under the Biden Justice Department into your financial disclosure forms, or into your finances and campaign spending. But were you aware that this Justice Department is looking into you?
No, but I'm not surprised.
You are now. You are now. They're looking into your ass, bitch.
Over the years, there have been investigations with the FEC because people have filed complaints. So I wouldn't be.
All right, enough of this lady. But I do have a song from her. She's got a new song out called I Squirt Myself. I Squirt Myself with Ilhan Omar. Let's listen to this. This is awesome. This makes me laugh. script. It says script. And watch, she's going to wink at him. When he stands up, she's going to wink at him and he's going to wink at her. We watched the video. There's a section where it looks like she winks, but she winks at like her security afterwards. Like, we're going to keep doing this. We're going to keep this going. Wink at him. What about January 6th? Don't circle back. They ask about vineyards, donors and friends. So I tilt the bottle, cue the lens. They talk non-profits, daycare checks. Where did it go? I love Somalian veterans. They talk numbers that don't. Newsmax reports Ilhan Omar's net worth increased from $65,000 to $30 million over 3 years. Thousands to millions. Wild climb, please go looking somewhere else. Look at Trump in the background. When the facts get close, I squirt myself. I'll go looking somewhere else. Oh no, yeah. She's getting down on that guitar. I close my eyes, I see the frame. Married her brother. She married her brother. Claim. A fool could see how well it plays out. Rage buys another day. Go looking somewhere else. When the facts get close, I squirt myself. Looking somewhere else. Go looking somewhere else. When the questions rise, I squirt myself. I'll go looking somewhere else. When the heat turns up, I squirt myself. I squirt myself. All right. All right. Link, please. That's a good one. All right. What we know about the man who allegedly attacked Ilhan Omar. Anthony Kazmir-Kazak, 55, was convicted of felony auto theft in 1989. He's been arrested multiple times for driving under the influence, numerous traffic citations. Minnesota court records show there are also indications he has had significant financial problems, including 2 bankruptcy filings. He used a syringe to squirt liquid. She called for the abolishment of U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement and firing or impeachment of Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem following the fatal shootings of blah, 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 blah. He was jailed for a 3rd-degree assault charge. A Trump supporter. Kazmir-Kazak hadn't been formally charged. The Hennepin County Attorney's Office until Thursday to charge him. A spokesperson for the prosecutor's office didn't immediately return. It's unclear if he has a lawyer who could speak on his behalf. A neighbor told the New York Post Kazmir-Kazak said he was going to Omar's town hall and I might get arrested. In social media posts, he described himself as a former network engineer who lives in Minneapolis. Among other things, he made comments critical of former President Joe Biden, a Democrat, and referred to Democrats as angry and liars. Trump, a Republican, Once the U.S. is stronger and more prosperous, Kazmir Kazak wrote, stop other countries from stealing from us, bring back the fear the enemies back away from, and gain respect that if anyone threatens ourselves or friends, we will expletive them up. In another post, he asked, when will descendants of slaves pay restitution to Union soldiers' families for freeing them / dying for them and not sending them back to Africa? This guy's a savage. Yeah, this seems real. Trump urged Omar, the squad, to go back to their countries. Okay, and now we just attacked Trump for a while. Oh, man. Okay. So that's pretty much it for... Oh, one other story. Update on the bananas and rice lady. She got arrested. Shocker. Bananas and rice chick. Viral bananas and rice Somali woman arrested for allegedly participating in a riot. The Somali woman who went viral for describing her identity as bananas and rice was one of the 60 people. I identify as bananas and rice. You know, it's Somalian. It's like bananas and rice. It's like Somalian, you know? It's like bananas and rice. It's kind of like bananas and rice. Nasra Ahmed, 23. She rose to national prominence. I don't know if I would say rose to national prominence. Bananas and rice, a phrase that quickly spread across social media. Attorney General said Wednesday she is in Minneapolis as federal authorities step up enforcement after recent unrest involving federal law enforcement, announcing the arrest of 16 people accused of assaulting federal agents. Federal agents have arrested 16 Minnesotan rioters for allegedly assaulting federal law enforcement, people who have been resisting and impeding our federal law enforcement rights. And she was one of the 16 people arrested. So this chick got arrested. There's a little update for you. Yeah, like the next day she goes to jail. Oh, wow. That's funny. Okay, so that's all the news. We're gonna watch this, and then maybe we'll find just a video of the raw stuff. But this is a leaked Erica Kirk phone calls and conversation that she was having on Zoom or something shortly after Charlie died, and a lot of people have been critical of it. A lot of people have been reacting to it. I think Candace leaked it. Candace got a hold of it somehow. But a lot of people have been reacting to this, and it, you know, it's something people are starting to say more openly now because, you know, the dust has settled a little bit on the Charlie Kirk stuff. But some of us have been saying it from the very first day it happened that there's something fishy here with Erica. And then she also, there's like a video of her, like she was using reality TV and pageants and stuff to gain celebrity. And then there's a video where she's with a guy and she's like, oh, we shouldn't do that. We're Christians. Or what are they talking about? They're talking about like sex or something. She's like, well, no, we can't do that. We're Christians. And just weird videos of her leaking. And this is after her death. And Awaken with JP made this video. I don't know what happened to him. He blew up so quick. He's got 3 million subscribers. He blew up so fast a couple years ago, and then he kind of disappeared for a while. He kind of fell off. But he's pretty cool. But this video is points to a lot of the things that I've been saying. Let's see.
The Zoom call with Erica. Yeah, I can't believe she's doing it just 6 days after Charlie, you know, but she'll probably just be crying the whole time. Poor thing. Oh, she's on.
Oh, look at all the thumbs up. Look how cute that is. Sorry, it's just a little bit more informal than probably Charlie would be reacting. How sweet.
She's surprisingly upbeat. Laughing a lot.
Sorry, you guys. I just wanted to say first and foremost, my heart obviously is broken for you guys.
For us, what about her? Does she know Charlie was her husband?
Turning Point USA will continue like my husband always wanted, and it'll be bigger than ever. And we're going to honor him by doing that. We're going to stay humble.
Oh, yeah. Well, she's really focused on business.
We're going to work hard because that's what he would want. And we're going to just make it grow.
Just growing the business.
But he's here, and he's more alive than ever. And he is, he's going to guide us.
He's actually dead, and she's guiding us. What's going on here?
And I told Justin, I said, it's going to be something where everything before September 10th, any email you were working on, any project you were working on, it's not that it's irrelevant now. It's just things have changed, obviously.
What? So projects Charlie had us working on don't matter? Like, dude, don't you think this is a little strange?
Every project Charlie had you working on is irrelevant now. Things are going to change. Tampon USA is back.
No, she's just saying if Charlie had you working on a project, don't worry about that anymore because she's going to lead us in a more Charlie-like way than Charlie ever could. It's a change.
And I just want you to know that, again, I'm with you. I'm here. I'm not going anywhere.
Oh, yeah. Well, she's definitely here now.
I feel so blessed and honored.
Hey, man, do you think it's weird that she's leading us now? No, not at all. That's Charlie's wife. What are you talking about? She has no background in leading significant nine-figure or.
Who did a comedy bit about this? Was it Norm or maybe it was Bill Burr? I think it was Bill Burr. He's like, if you die, I don't want your wife to run the plane just because you die. You die. The first lady doesn't take over the White House if the president dies. If the pilot of the plane dies, his wife doesn't take over in his place. Bill Burr did a whole bit on this, and he gets to it here.
Organizations. Her background is seeking fame through reality TV shows and beauty pageants. I mean, she's not next in line most qualified to lead us. Yes, she is. Just imagine Patrick Mahomes tragically dies in a car accident. Who would be next in line to lead the Chiefs at starting quarterback? Second string quarterback. No, dummy. Patrick Mahomes' wife. It's the same thing. You don't think this is weird? You're just overthinking it. And by the way, show some respect, okay? She's a grieving widow, but she's not really grieving. She's not doing any of that.
Everyone grieves differently, so if someone's acting weird, don't read into that.
There you go. You just heard her. Everyone grieves differently. Well, but nobody grieves like that. Just get over it, pussy. We got to get ready for the memorial service.
Get over it,
it's pussy. It's going to be sick. I don't know, man. I'm just so sad.
Hi, everybody. I still love all these emoji Zoom things.
Hey, Erica, the emojis are killer. So how'd this memorial perform?
I don't even know where to begin. The fact that we were able to pull off an event of the century, like it's just insane.
I don't, complete insanity. Incredible. Now, what kind of numbers did we do?
We had over 275,000 people. Insane.
What is... Her husband got shot in the neck 11 days ago. Erica, now that it's been 11 days since your husband got shot in the neck, how do we do on merch?
We're at like over 200,000 for...
Now that it's been 11 days since your husband got shot in the neck, how do we do on merch?
Merch sales. Don't quote me on that because I think it just keeps like bumping up like crazy. But
great. It's all positives.
Huge thank you to the events team, the development team, the graphic design team, the production team. It's just phenomenal.
Erica, with all due respect, what about Charlie?
My husband's dead. Like, I'm not trying to be morbid, but he's dead.
Okay. Can we bring it back to the numbers?
Since his assassination, we have 100,000 chapter requests, 300,000 new donors.
I'm so happy to hear that all of that happened.
Otherwise, honestly, Turning Point USA and Turning Point Action, full steam ahead, you guys. We have so much to do, which is exciting.
Her children lost their father. Who do you think is with them right now? Erica, I'm wondering, because your children...
And that is the question. Who's taking care of the kids? while you're running a huge organization.
Your father, who do you think is with him right now? Erica, I'm wondering, because your children lost their father and you're not with them, could we get a read on hat sales?
I think we have 50,000 plus hat orders to fulfill.
Congrats, Erica. That's phenomenal. Just phenomenal.
Charlie in heaven is like, you guys thought you had a busy schedule then, just you wait.
So you're saying that Charlie, with a heavenly perspective, wants us to work even more instead of spending more time with our families? Is that? Oh, dude, I hear she's single right now and available. Do you think it'd be cool if I mean, we're coworkers, but I don't know. What do you think? Does anybody know what the is going on here? Erica, I've been looking at your beauty pageant bikini pictures, and those pictures were awesome. Where were you for those? It looked like somewhere tropical.
Charlie would want us to get back to work, and that's what we're doing.
Okay, Erica, more work from us to generate more money, because that's what matters in this situation, is what Charlie wants from heaven. Roger that. Great call. How do you feel about her? Dude, she's a tremendous leader and a grieving widow. I don't feel comfortable with this.
Dang. I don't know why y'all are hating on Queen Erica. Queen Erica. Tampon USA is back. Tampon USA is back. All right. Well, that's all I had. What time is it? 8:20? We'll go for a little while longer. I didn't put up any questions. What else is going on in the world today? Did I miss anything from the news today? I guess we can spend a little more time on the Epstein files, because I kind of... Bill and Hillary Clinton to testify in congressional Epstein probe. Government shutdown to go at least till Tuesday. Let me see if I can find a YouTube video where they combine some of the craziest stuff. Let's see. This is what I was watching. Where the heck is it?
I think if you told him, if I told him the devil,
100%.
the devil
himself.
The devil himself said, "I'm going to exchange some dollars for your child's life."
Do you think you're the devil himself?
No, but I do have a good mirror.
It's a serious question.
Sorry.
Do you think you're the devil himself?
I don't know. Why would you say that? Santa Fe Institute in the late 80s, early 90s. I was interested. I was on the board of Rockefeller. So that starts. Rockefeller, it's university formed by John D. Rockefeller to sort of give back to the community. It's east side of.
He spends a lot of time talking about the Trilateral Commission, which is like how nations, politicians come and go real quickly, and that the real power is in business owners. And so he was involved in helping those business owners get and stay in power. And this Trilateral Commission, and he even says it's kind of tied to the Illuminati. They're like secretly running everything.
Manhattan, except it was old. It was sort of old-fashioned. They were talking about medicine, and medicine by itself was again subject to the ideas of science. They were trying to use science to find cures for disease. And I said, no, we need to do something different. We need to start interdisciplinary work. List of people, and it was Bill Clinton, former president of the United States, Paul Volcker, every great leader in America, the Asians, the Japanese, and with a very long description of their history.
Okay, tier one, you're the lowest, but a criminal.
Yes.
That the money came from them. What percentage of people do you estimate I understand you don't like probabilities, do you estimate would say, I don't care, I want the money for my children?
I would say everyone said, I want the money for my children.
Did they know where the money came from?
I think if you told them,
if
I told them the devil,
100%.
the devil
himself.
The devil himself said, I'm going to exchange some dollars for your child's life.
Do you think you're the devil himself?
No, but I do have a good mirror.
It's a serious question. Do you think you're the devil himself?
I don't know. Why would you say that?
Because you have all the attributes. You're incredibly smart. You remember, the devil is somebody
the devil
knows.
Smart?
The devil's brilliant. You read Milton's Paradise Lost.
No, the devil scares me.
Satan is the he is at the number 1 or 2 archangel, and the reason he goes to hell and leads the rebellion is because he can't be the top guy. And his thing is, I'd rather reign in hell than serve in heaven.
I saw that in a movie once called American Dharma. I don't remember who said it. Santa Fe Institute in the late 80s, early 90s. I was interested, I was on the board of Rockefeller. So that starts, Rockefeller, it's university formed by John D. Rockefeller to sort of give back to the community. It's east side of Manhattan, except it was old. It was sort of old-fashioned. They were talking about medicine, and medicine by itself was, again, subject to the ideas of science. They were trying to use science to find cures for disease. And I said, no, we need to do something different. We need to start interdisciplinary work. In most...
How did a schmuck like you get on the board of Rockefeller? What year was that?
I don't remember. Late, I think 89.
That seems like some gay, what do we call it? Oh, I forget what we call it. But yeah, it's sounds like some gay fake gossip. I don't even know why you would write that in a chat.
91.
So that's one of the most prestigious research places in the world, correct?
Yes.
Okay, how did a guy like you get on the board of a blue blood, internationally known, hard research, Nobel Prize winners all over the place? How do they pick a guy like you, a trader from, or basically some guy from Bear Stearns?
Good question. So I was asked to be on the board of Rockefeller, and I think it was, I was on the board of Rockefeller, there was a money manager who said, Rockefeller needs someone with financial expertise because the university is growing and there's lots of new things. You have to, again, we go back to the original discussion the last time. Up until the mid-'80s or sort of early mid-'70s, the most important thing was your name. If you were Rockefeller, you already were considered to be brilliant. If you were head of General Motors, it was your reputation. It was who you
I think this is the part where he starts talking about the Trilateral Commission.
Knew, who your family was, what was your...
I know he keeps saying in this interview, because I've watched almost the whole thing, he keeps saying, people don't understand money. I understand money. I understand that. He did understand money. Somehow he was just like a money genius.
Character. And then in the mid-'70s, basically, if you remember, you probably had a calculator. It was very advanced in those days to have a Texas Instrument calculator, where it could, by putting in the numbers, it would multiply for you to do square roots. And that was the first, and everyone who had a calculator was already advanced on Wall Street. A simple almost like your accountant. The most important parts of business were really now going to calculations. So it's not only mathematics, but it's things that could be calculated. Reputation couldn't be calculated. I could give you, are you a 10 on a reputation scale, an 8? What does it mean to have a measurement of your reputation? We'll get to that later. But places like Rockefeller needed someone to say, look, we're entering a different world where numbers and the numbers of companies.
He was a huge criminal. Dude, he was involved in everything. Every conspiracy, everything. He's involved with every world leader in the world. He's working out like peace deals with Syria and dude, this dude was wild. This dude, influenced everything.
Companies, portfolio management was going to be balanced. It was going to be statistical. Jeffrey, could you come on the board? Potentially sit on the finance committee, Nancy Kissinger and a bunch of other people. And David Rockefeller and I got along very well. He was this unbelievable human being. Respectful to everyone. He introduced his driver as his colleague, not his driver. He would never say, this is my driver. He said, it's my colleague. And David started to explain to me world politics. So David would say, Jeffrey, money is going to be sort of the most important things. People don't understand money. You seem to have this knack for money. I said to David, tell me about your life. What was the worst and the best part of your life? So David said, when I grew up, everyone knew I was a Rockefeller. They didn't know that my father told me he would not leave me a dime. No money. But every time we went out to eat, me and my 5 friends at school, they would leave me the bill. They would expect me to pick up the check because I was a Rockefeller. And he said, I was chairman of Chase Bank. And he said, I remember like it was yesterday, one of the headlines in Time magazine said, David, please fire yourself. So he thought that there was a world that existed that would be a combination of both politics and business and leadership. What do I mean? He formed something called the Trilateral Commission. The Trilateral Commission is some spooky stuff. People said it was something, the Illuminati, there's some mystery about it, people that ran the world. It was politicians, but David said most countries, the politicians get elected for 4 years or 8 years, separate from the royal families in England or in the Middle East. Someone's there for 4 years and then they're not there anymore. The most important people to have stability and consistency would be businessmen. So he formed this Trilateral Commission of businessmen and politicians from 3 major continents. So it was the North Americans, the Europeans, and the Asians. So he said to me, would you like to be on the Trilateral Commission? Now, I was 30 years old, 32 years old. I said, great. And he said, well, you have to fill out this application so they have your bio. And I looked at the list of people, and it was Bill Clinton, former president of the United States, Paul Volcker, every great leader in America, the Asians, the Japanese, and with a very long description of their history. And they asked me to fill in what I would like to have written. And I wrote Jeffrey Epstein, comma, just a good kid, which I thought was funny. Nobody else did.
Just a good kid on the Trilateral Commission. Maybe we'll have to do a deep dive into the Trilateral Commission one of these days. Savannah Guthrie's mother, Nancy Guthrie, missing in Arizona. Savannah Guthrie. Savannah Guthrie. Nancy Guthrie. Who is Savannah Guthrie? That's not a Epstein victim, is it? Who's Savannah Guthrie? That name sounds familiar. Not Virginia Giuffre. Savannah Guthrie. American broadcast journalist. Journalist's mom is missing. Her mother has been abducted. Today Show host Savannah Guthrie's mother, Nancy, is missing in Arizona. What police believe was an abduction from her home while she slept. I believe she was abducted. She didn't walk from there. She didn't go willingly. We saw some things at her home that were concerning us. We believe now, after we processed the crime scene, that we do in fact have a crime scene. We have a crime. Somebody kidnapped a Today Show host grandma? That's wild. getting ready to cover the Olympics. Then came the worst phone call she's had. Her mom got kidnapped. That's wild. I wonder what's going on with that. We'll have to wait for updates on that one. What's up, Marilyn? Bill and Hillary now agree to testify before Congress. 10 key takeaways from the Epstein files. Epstein. Oh, yeah. And also there's stuff in the Epstein files that about a guard that saw the body, saw them switch out the body. So Epstein might not even be dead. That old conspiracy theory might have some credence to it. There's a guard in the Epstein files. There's a guard that reports seeing the body get switched out, or seeing them bring in a fake another body. Interesting. Epstein lawyers discussed possibility of cooperation days before his death. Oh, so he was about to cooperate, and then he ended up dead. FBI received allegations about Trump. Yeah, there's tons of allegations about tons of people. It's an anonymous tip hotline. Some of the documents contain untrue and sensationalist claims that were submitted to FBI. To be clear, the claims are unfounded and false. If they have a shred of credibility, they certainly would have been weaponized against Trump already. Lutnick made plans to visit Epstein's island. Musk had more expensive ties to Epstein than previously known. Extensive. Mountbatten Windsor invited Epstein to Buckingham Palace. Richard Branson. Oh, yeah. Richard Branson and Epstein were chatting. Epstein got perma-banned from Microsoft Live. Apparently, he was harassing kids. Where's the video of him? I don't know. I don't know if I'm going to find it. Disturbing footage shows Epstein laughing as he chases women around Pedo Island. Footage shows the pedo financer laughing as he runs after women who have been redacted in the Little St. James home. Listen to the dark music. I don't know. Sounds like she's having a good time. That can't be the worst that they got. 7 files show emails between head of LA Olympics Committee and Ghislaine Maxwell. New York Giants co-owner Steve Tisch exchanged emails. Files shed new light on relationship between Epstein and Peter Mandelson. 3 separate payments of $25,000 from Epstein's JP Morgan bank account referencing Mandelson. Separate documents appear to indicate that Epstein sent thousands of pounds to Mandelson's husband after Epstein's release from prison. The files also include an image of Mandelson in his underwear standing next to a woman whose face is redacted. In response, Mandelson has said that he cannot place the location or the women, and I cannot think what the circumstances were. Hollywood filmmaker Brett Ratner appears in an image with Epstein and 2 women. And he's the guy who directed the new Melania Trump documentary. Lots of crazy stuff. I don't know. I'm sure a lot of it's real, a lot of it's fake tips, a lot of it's garbage. It's not even worth looking into. There's a video of him playing the guitar and like roasting kids on voice chat, like Microsoft voice chat, like Xbox Live voice chat. In the Epstein files, there's his ban from Microsoft. He got banned from Xbox Live in like 2013. Asmongold was saying he must have been calling people the hard R in Xbox Live because you got to do a lot to get banned on Xbox Live back then. Nothing is going to happen to anyone in these emails. Yeah, well, that's what I've been saying for months. Interior designers he hired should be interviewed. My kids love when I chase them around the house. Yeah. All right, guys. Well, I'm going to head out early tonight. My stomach hurts and I need to get some food and get ready for work. So I'll send you over to the debate that's happening. Oh, it's Manar. Yay. Anyway, where's one second. All right, get the redirect set. Here it is. Okay. Thank you guys for hanging out. God bless you all. It's the Dreaded Conservative Monday night, kicking the week off right. If you like it, tell a friend. If you hate it, tell everybody. The world's a crazy place. I just report on it. I might be back in the morning for Bible reading. We shall see, but I got to get ready for work because I'm not ready yet, but have a good one. I'll see you guys later. Thank you for hanging out. I'm out. Peace.